Safeco Field entered the Seattle market in 1998 and has been a part of improving the overall sense of pride that is instilled in its citizens. The strengths of the stadium have benefited the entire Seattle community. The city of Seattle has always supported its baseball team, and its stadium has created a beneficial atmosphere for the public. As of right now, the Stadium Authority PFD owners remain in a very good relationship with the Mariners owner for the control and the ownership of the stadium. The lease for Safeco Field Stadium is a 20-year lease and it ends in 2019. Safeco Field is one of the most sustainable stadiums in the MLB. They recently installed a new LED scoreboard that reduces energy usage. Along with these renovations, there are solar panels on the sky bridge that connects Safeco Field to its parking garage. Safeco Field won the Natural Resources Defense Council Game Changer Award this past year. Safeco Field also is one of the top ballparks in the MLB regarding its operations. Another strength of Safeco Field is that it has a large capacity and can hold almost 50,000 people. This allows for huge crowds to comfortably cheer in a stadium for a variety of events. The field also has a retractable roof that protects fans from unwelcome weather. Since Safeco Field is a multi-purpose stadium, it can also be used for anything from corporate meetings to graduations. With regards to the stadium itself, it suffers from a lack of attendance. In 2013, the average attendance was almost 22,000 people, which is about 45% of the stadium capacity. There is also a lack of viable parking options. There are 2 parking garages, Safeco Field Garage and CenturyLink Event Center Garage, and they can only hold a couple thousand cars each. A few thousand parking spots are not going to be enough for a stadium that holds almost 50,000 people. Walking distance is also an issue for Safeco Field because it takes about a half an hour to walk to the stadium from the more populated parts of the city. Expanding the light rail in Seattle is a viable option to help solve the transportation issues at Safeco Field. It is scheduled to create new lines in the near future, according to Bart Waldman, who is the Executive Vice President of Legal and Governmental Affairs for the Seattle Mariners. This would greatly improve the flow of fan transportation to Safeco Field, which could boost attendance and fan support for the stadium. The sustainability of Safeco Field creates an opportunity to drive financial performance and reduce any additional cost for the stadium. As the Vice President of Ballpark Operations, Scott Jenkins, states,
"By displaying the stadium's effort to become sustainable, this can influence the surrounding and supporting community to increase their involvement in the sustainability struggle."
Another opportunity for Safeco Field is the possibility of bringing in a professional NBA team to the city of Seattle. According to Bart Waldman, this would be located a block south of Safeco Field. As we know, Seattle used to have an NBA team, the Seattle Supersonics, who moved out of town. Bringing a new NBA team to the city of Seattle could increase the overall fan excitement for all 3 sports teams, which would increase the fan size at Safeco Field. One of the primary threats is that there seems to be a lessening of public support for the team in general over the past few years, according to Kevin Callan. Most of King County citizens have no desire to fund the stadium and would rather use their money from municipalities within the county. This could potentially harm upcoming negotiations for a new ballpark lease. The largest potential threat to Safeco Field is that the mass transit system in the area around Safeco Field is of low quality. There is a constant dispute among city leaders about the poor quality of the mass transit system around the entire city. This is partially due to the fact that more than 50% of Safeco Field fans are coming from outside of the King County area. This demonstrates a much-needed mass transit system to accommodate for the out-of-state fan overflow. Overall, the chances of possible relocation for the Seattle Mariners are fairly low, considering that both the strengths and opportunities outnumber the weaknesses and threats to the stadium. Thank you for your time. We hope that you enjoyed our video and found it informative.